Hi guys, I am Vicky and this is a diary of a student teacher. I thought there isn't that many on the net, so I thought I would do my own insight, especially from somebody who's in England. A lot of advice videos or back to school hauls or ways of organising things are American from what I've been watching, so I thought I should do an English one. So a gap in the market and I thought I should take it. So this is kind of a video to tell you what it's like to be a student teacher in the UK. I have not started my course, I started this September, so this is kind of a introduction video to say hello, tell you what I'm going to be doing hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And keep you updated over my year's course. I have been offered a place on a PGCE primary mathematics course at Edge Hill. I will be going in September to train to be a teacher. I have already got one degree in psychology that I graduated 2 years ago, and I reapplied this year for the course. Last year you apply for any teaching course through the Graduate Teacher Training Register, which is also known as GTTR. It's kind of the teaching equivalent of UCAS. If you apply for any university in the UK, you apply for your UCAS, and the GTTR is the teacher training equivalent of it. I applied through that last year for a primary course at Edge Hill. And I was unsuccessful. I managed to get an interview, but the university has certain requirements of what you want, what they want from you. So at Edge Hill, they want a minimum of 10 days work experience and enough knowledge up to at least a Key Stage 3 level, which in the UK is Year 9. End of Year 9, which is about 13, 14. I'm not sure what grade it is in America or in Australia. And you also need to be able to produce this knowledge. When you go to your interview, I had a screening test in English, Maths, Science and IT the first time round. And then I had a written task of an essay for 20 minutes on a current school topic, which I think mine was about assessment and whether we should have a general assessment for everybody, or whether on like the SAT tests or GCSEs, which at the moment are having a huge revival in the UK. Or whether we should have individual tests that are specific to the school. So I had to write an essay about that for 20 minutes in cursive handwriting, which is joined up handwriting for any of you who don't know who it is. I had to Google it because I wasn't 100% sure. And my joined up handwriting isn't the best handwriting in the world, so it was a bit scruffy, but they take that into consideration because you are pushed for time. It's a whole day interview, so in the afternoon you had a group interview and your individual interview. In your group interview you had to plan a lesson with some other people in your group, and then present your ideas to the other group that was there, and explain your lesson plan and how you would plan your lesson. So starting with a plenary, starting with an introduction and then the main body of the lesson and a plenary at the end, or a conclusion, to kind of sum the lesson up and make sure the children understand what they've meant to have learnt. After that you have your individual interview. This is more specific questions to yourself. I got asked, I do a lot of volunteering for Scouts, so I got asked how my Scout role would help me in the classroom, so obviously talking about child management and things like that. They also ask you like what skills you've learnt from the school and what makes a good teacher, and whether you've had any positive role models from people at your school that have kind of inspired you to do something differently, or maybe do something differently because they've done it wrong rather than doing it good. So I went for my interview, and a couple of weeks later I found out that I hadn't gained enough experience, and that I failed my English and my maths. They set a deadline, like a target goal. If you get over it, then you get a good mark, but if you get below it, they think that you may struggle on the course. So my feedback was really good. They do give you feedback at Edge Hill, whether you're successful or whether you're not, and tell you how to improve if you're not. So I got my feedback back, and they explained that I needed to brush up my English and maths knowledge, and also gain a little bit more experience in a school, as I'd only had a few weeks. So the more experience you can get, the better. I then decided to take a teaching assistance course, a level 3 teaching assistance course, which would provide me with the evidence that I needed and the experience to prove that I'd kind of accepted what Edge Hill had said and improved on what they'd said, so that my application this year would be more successful, which luckily it has, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this vlog. So the teaching assistant course is kind of, I had to get 100 hours in placement, which is in a school, so I've got 100 hours extra placement, and I'm also learning about how schools work, the roles of the certain teachers in the schools. It's just been more beneficial to me, and it's also helped improve my English and maths, because I'm constantly teaching the children English and maths whilst I'm at school, so it's helped me improve areas that I need to. So I reapplied this year, and I was successful. I went through the same interview stage again. The course had slightly changed, so I'm now specialising in mathematics. And I know you might think that that's a bit strange, seeing as I failed it the first time round, but maths is probably one of my strongest subjects. A lot of my degree was maths based. I did a psychology degree, so a lot of it was statistics based. So I reapplied, I was successful, I had an interview and I was successful. One of the conditions of the offer was that I passed the government's national skills tests. Now in the UK, the government has brought in these has brought in these skill tests that have to be passed before you do any teacher training. So all the trainee teachers that are on courses at the moment have to pass these tests by the end of the year, otherwise they don't graduate. And anyone who's applying to start in 2013, in September 2013, have to pass, or subsequent years, they have to pass these tests before they start their training. Now you can't apply for these tests until you've applied for a teacher training course. You can be taking them whilst you're waiting to find out whether you've been offered an interview and offered a place. They're in English and maths, and you get 3 attempts at them. The first attempt is totally free, and you don't have to pay a single penny. You just put them online when you're available. They're usually about 45 minutes each, and there's loads of practice tests online, and also books that you can buy, which I'll leave a link in the box below for the Amazon books that I got, which were really, really helpful. And Amazon do a good deal, as once you finish with the books you can trade them in for gift vouchers to get money off other books, which I'll probably use to buy my book list ready for uni in September. So you get a first attempt. If you pass first attempt, then congratulations, you don't owe any money to the government, and you're most likely on your course. If you've been offered a place, then you're definitely on your course, depending on whether you've been offered a place or not. But if you fail first time round, you do get 2 other attempts, but you have to pay. At the moment, if you fail, you pay £19.50 per test, so £19.50 for English and £19.50 for maths. If you fail it the second time, you can take it a third time, but if you fail the third time, you get blocked for 2 years. which means you cannot apply for any teacher training course for 2 years, and you will have to resit the tests before you reapply after the 2 years. So you reapply and then you'll have to resit the tests before you do any more training, unless the government changes it by then, which I'm hoping they do, because although they're trying to improve standards of teachers in the UK, it's sometimes not fair on others, because they may have poor English and maths skills, but they may be absolutely brilliant with kids. So I don't think they take that into consideration sometimes. But who knows, the government may have changed by then, if you do fail it and you get blocked out for the 2 years. So I luckily I did the test last week and I passed them, so I was celebrating to pass them first time, which means I am officially on my course at Edge Hill. All I need to do now is my criminal check to make sure that I'm safe for working with children. And I got a pack from Edge Hill when I got on the course, with my book lists and equipment lists that I may need whilst I'm in the classroom, or I might need for my actual course. So I'll do a separate video for those. I've not bought any of my books yet. I'm kind of waiting. I'm going to Australia in a couple of weeks, so I'm waiting until I get back from there so that I can figure out how much money I've got left. But I have started some of my equipment, I have started some of my equipment, so I'll do a separate video of what I've already got and what things I need to buy, and obviously update it as I get them, because all the back to school items don't really come in until into the shops in the UK until July, when it's the summer holidays, because the new school year starts in September. So that's about it for now. I will obviously update this as often as I can. The course is quite intensive, but I want to give an insight onto how it is for just an ordinary girl who wants to be a teacher, and I don't think there's much of that out there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.